Hey there, guys. This is Darwin with another review, and this is actually a battle beers. This is a blind taste between two beers that are pretty popular, and it is going to be between Sam Adams Boston Lager, which comes at whoa. How did that happen? Okay, well, oh my God, I do not know why that randomly occurred. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to clean that up, but holy smokes! All right, well, despite this mistake, the review will go on because it will still be a blind taste test. So, oh shoot, why is that happening too? Did I shake these beers up? I don't think I did. That's really strange. I don't think I shook these beers up. I have no clue why that happened. Wow, jeez. Anyway, so let me not get distracted. So basically, we have two popular American attempts at sort of probably more traditional attempts at they're sort of American attempts at a lager. So they're craft lagers. Sam Adams rolls in at 4.9%. The Brooklyn Lager comes in at 5.2. And so basically, I thought it'd be fun, sort of like, these are two popular beers in New York. You'd actually find these two generally at most bars, even if it's a sort of a divey kind of nonsense kind of bar, which you wouldn't expect to have a really good selection. You'll still be able to find these beers. They're very popular. They're, wide distribution. And I'm just curious, to see how these two beers compare. I've never had these two beers side to side. And anyway, let me stop this cleaning stuff. So anyway, I've marked the bottom of these two cups. I guess I can't show you now, but they're marked. One's marked Sam Adams, yep, and one's marked Brooklyn Lager, and they're filled up to pretty much the same amount, yeah, right? Yeah. So they're filled up pretty much the same amount, and let me start mixing them. I'm making a complete mess here. Sorry, guys. This was supposed to be a review and not a cleaning episode, but sometimes things happen. So anyway, the show will go on. So I'm going to be mixing these two. You could turn this into like a New York versus Boston thing. Sports rivalry, all that nonsense. I thought it'd just be interesting because these are two very popular beers, and two beers to sort of previously have defined really what craft beer was. It's just cool to see that these beers sort of were revolutionary. They really made craft beer popular. And even if you ask people now what they think craft beer is, a lot of people are going to answer something like Sam Adams or, Sierra Nevada. Maybe they might confuse it with Blue Moon, but Brooklyn Lager, that's another beer that, these are awesome entry beers for people trying to get into craft. And these are very important beers. These are classically very significant beers to the history of craft beer. So we've mixed these two. I have no clue which one's which. I was just talking to you guys. So let's think of the first one. A nice kind of almost like a fruity aroma. Pretty interesting. The hops offer this kind of sweetness, almost like sometimes it gets with lagers, I get this kind of like sweet apple note. Almost like a nice kind of honeyed toast is really, fruity honey toast is sort of what I get. It smells delicious. Cheers. Follows on the flavor. Again, I get this apple lager flavor that somehow I associate with lagers sometimes. Moves on to a nice kind of rich kind of a toastiness. Wow, almost like a heading towards a brown ale. There's a nice kind of almost a toasty kind of flavor, almost a caramel sugar kind of note. Dries off quite nicely of that lager note. Really nice transition from that kind of fruity flavor up front onto this nice kind of hearty. Baked bread, toasty kind of flavor. Very nice stuff. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, wow. This one smells even more hoppy. This one's a little bit more floral. It's a little bit more bright. Yeah, a little bit more fruity, a little bit more bright. The floral note gives it a little bit more hoppiness, what I perceive in the aroma. So. Wow. This one's a lot, I would say in general, is more flat on the flavor. In the front, not too much happening. Then it has that transitional flavor that this beer has onto a nice kind of, again, that kind of toasty malt kind of thing that you get in these Vienna lagers, these kind of amber lager kind of beers, these kind of darker lagers, not these American adjunct light lagers. We're talking about the German style, but German towards not a Pilsner with the Saaz hops, but towards that kind of little bit more toasty, a little bit more caramel sweetness, a little bit more richer kind of flavor. And this beer has that, and both beers do. Get a touch of the floral hops up front, a little bit of almost this candied sweetness. Then it moves on to a nice kind of breadiness, a substantial breadiness, not as substantial as this one, and then it dries off quite nicely. Again, of that what I got in that aroma, that kind of bright, kind of traditional, kind of hop, kind of flavor. Nice floral note on that finish. Yeah, quite nice. As to which one is which, oh man, I'm beat. I don't know. This one's quite perfumey. This one. This one tastes a little bit more like a traditional kind of American adjunct lager. The lager note is more pronounced on the back end. So because of that, I might guess that this one is the Sam Adams and this one is the Brooklyn Lager. Just because there's a touch more hops in here, this one has a touch more lager expression. But we're really picking at, we're just really picking really closely between these two. I think they're very similar. I don't actually know which one I prefer yet. Jesus. They're so similar. They're generally not too flavorful. They have similar notes to that toasty breadiness. Yeah. I couldn't choose between the two. Yeah. I'm going to say it's a wash. I'm going to say both are just as good as each other. They're so similar. I'm really picking at like certain notes in between the two. I did mention that, between when I was, tasting each beer, there were tasting differences between the flavor. And obviously, I'm drinking them back to back over and over, so there's going to be a little bit of blending. But usually, you could notice, even if the beers are the same style, you can notice there's some subtle differences, and there's a certain reason why you prefer a certain beer after drinking one back and back and back. This one, they're both good. I really like characteristics in both beers, and I don't really find one to be clearly better than the other. I don't really find characteristics, to make my decision to not be that they're tied. So these beers are tied, and I'm going to go with, again, this cup being Sam Adams, this being Brooklyn. Let's see if I'm right. That is Sam Adams, and that is Brooklyn. Sweet. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that's lucky. I guess it's 50-50, so I have to get that right a good amount of time. But glad I picked that out. Again, this one, more of a substantial breadiness in this one. You're definitely getting a more a full-flavored beer, but then you're also getting more of this lager note. It's a little bit more sweet. This beer, on the other hand, more crisp. This nice floral note. It almost tastes towards a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale in the sense that it's a sort of restrained kind of hop character, but there are some hops in there. And it's not a American Pale Ale or IP, obviously, but it does have a nice touch of those hops, and it's less lagery. It's a less substantial of a beer. It's more of a beer that you probably want to session at 5.2, around there. Probably a better kind of a food beer, though I imagine Sam Adams pairs with food greatly too, because it has that larger kind of toasty kind of note in there that probably pairs well with caramelized meats, breads, all that good stuff. And there you go. That's my battle beer. Sorry for the mess I made and the cleanup I had to waste your guys' time with. And tie for me. Let me know which one you guys prefer. I thought both were pretty good. So until next time, guys, cheers.